And so we went by and looked at it, and the foundation is not good. And then I found out that we're talking about the house in Pittsburgh for the temple. And then I found out that in Monroeville that the owners have to fix every house, that Monroeville comes in and inspects it, gives them a list, and they have to fix it all. And so we didn't know that. And so I called the owners. They didn't know that. And so now we're trying to negotiate for the land with the house we're going to tear down. We have to agree to tear it down with the county. So that's how,
sorry. Is that on my computer?
That's how that's gonna go. So hopefully soon I'll hear back from them.
This can't take it off now.
It'll be a green light, but we don't know yet. We're working on it. I mean, I think they can't rent it and they can't sell it.
Yeah, maybe not one.
So they either just sit with it, or they spend probably $150,000 fixing it, or they sell it to us for $175,000 and we tear it down. So we'll see.
So it's working out even better then.
Well, maybe, we don't know.
Well, okay.
We don't know.
Hope for the best.
Yeah. What was happening there?
I have stickers on the back of my laptop that Dr. Handy might not want to see, but
he lives in this world.
That's it. Yeah, they've got.
He's just not of this world, but he lives in this world. I mean, that's her.
I don't want to show any disrespect to him by them, but
he probably wouldn't even care.
I don't know if he'll be able to see it. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in Washington D.C. You think he doesn't see any of that stuff?
Fair. Very true.
Floats around in the air up there.
Right. So we are waiting on. Well, we don't have to wait. We can just speak, and then when he joins, he joins. So today I've been talking to everyone about doing, then not doing it because they want me to know they're doing it, not doing it for anything other than yourself and helping yourself get to a place that is peaceful and balanced. And that's where everybody, I think, really wants to be, in a place of peace and balance, non-suffering. Mm-hmm. So in order to do that, there's things that we need to know. So I'm going to go through the board again, which I had written this a year ago. We're going through it again. So we have to know the truth. So the truth is there is suffering. There's an end to the suffering, right? Mm-hmm. There's a cause for that suffering. There's a way to end it, a path that leads to the end of it. It's not hard. It does take effort, which most of the time we don't give. So until we start giving the effort for ourselves, nothing happens. We stay in the same space. We get in chaos. We go through suffering. We get out of suffering. We go through suffering. It's a cycle that we do because we're not doing the path that leads to not suffering, right? And that path consists of 8 things. 8 things, right? That sounds so easy, doesn't it? 8 things. Well, it is easy, but we have to do them. So number 1 is the right view. The right view is speaking truth inside yourself. Not telling yourself a story, because that will lead to suffering, because your heart knows the truth inside of you. So when you tell yourself, oh, I'm doing it for this reason, but it's really not that reason. Or whatever it is, and it's not the truth, it's going to create suffering in you. Every single time. Every time. Because your heart knows the truth. This mind chatters a bunch of lies inside of you every day of your life, if you let it. Right? Every day. So you have to check in with your mind on a regular basis, right? What am I thinking? Is that a truth? Ask yourself, is that really true? Think about it. Is it really true? And then speak the truth inside of yourself, even if it hurts, right? Even if you're telling yourself something that you don't really want to tell yourself. That's okay, because in that will be growth. But if you keep telling yourself a lie, you just believe that lie, and then you're not growing. You're staying in that suffering, that little box that you've created that is a bunch of stories that you tell yourself about yourself, right? I'm going to repeat that. It's a little box of stories that you keep telling yourself about yourself. See? So we have to have loving kindness for ourselves. This is a big deal, this loving kindness. When we suffer, we don't have it inside of us for ourselves. So we're suffering because we don't have that inside. We're telling ourselves things that make us feel bad. We're thinking about the past and how we could have done something and da 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 da. Or we're thinking about the future and what am I going to do about it? We're always telling ourselves stories. See, all of that is stories because it's not here in this present moment. There's nothing else that exists, really. You can't touch it. You can't touch something in the past. You can't touch something in the future. It may never come. So the only thing that is real is this right here. So if you know that and you pay attention and stay in this moment at all times, just keep bringing yourself back. Your mind will want to take you away because it's used to that, right? Bring it back. I don't care. You got to do it 500 times a day. Do it 500 times a day. Doesn't matter, right? I mean, you don't have to, but if you don't, you're going to suffer. So, if you want to not suffer, be in this present moment. Know what you're thinking, which is number 2, the right thought, right? What are you thinking inside your mind? You're creating something. What is it that you're creating? Is it loving kindness for yourself? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Resentment? What is it that you're creating inside your mind with your thoughts? Know them. Know what you're thinking. We get so used to not knowing, just letting our chatter. I'll say, what are you thinking? Oh, nothing. That's a lie, right? Nothing is a lie. Because I can tell you, rarely is there anyone that doesn't sit in vipassana that doesn't have a thought. Unless you're really good at vipassana meditation, you got thoughts in your mind. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say nothing. That's a lie you're telling yourself. See, I'm breaking it down so you know what the lies are. Because we say, oh no, we tell ourselves the truth. No, we don't. Because anytime you say to yourself, I'm not thinking anything, that right there is a lie. Unless you've been sitting in vipassana. Anybody here doing that? No. So if you know this, then tell yourself the truth. Okay, what am I thinking? Recognize a thought when it comes because it's creating something, right? It's creating something inside of you. So what is your thought? You think about it. Okay, is it the right thought? Is it the right view? What view do I have right here that I'm thinking, right? What is it? So you have to know, what's it creating inside of me? How do I feel? What's that? What is that? Oh, okay, I know what it is, right? I was thinking about da 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 yesterday or 5 days ago, or I was thinking about the future. What am I going to do about this? Tell yourself the truth. It's okay to tell yourself the truth, because then you can fix yourself. But until you start really speaking truth inside yourself, you cannot. I'm not fixing you. Okay, I can't. It's impossible for me to do that. You have to do it. I'm showing you the little steps to do it, but only you can do it. So this is how you do. You have to talk to yourself, okay? What was that thought? Why am I feeling not so balanced? What am I thinking? When you start feeling out of balance, you know your mind has gone chatter, right? It started chattering. So what is it? Know it. Get familiar with your mind, because you've let it run crazy for your lifetime. Now you're going to bring it back in the center, right? You're going to know what I'm thinking. Okay. Then number 3, speech. Careful what you speak. Is it right? What you're speaking, is it truth? Is it something that will be loving kindness to someone? Or is it something that's not going to be? Is it something that is making you feel bad? Think about these things. These are important. This is how you do this 8 steps, right? I'm telling you exactly how to do it, step by step by step. So if you're speaking, Satu. Is he on mute? Did you take him off mute?
I believe he has to take himself.
Okay. Satu. This is Venerable Tanat, and he is president of Hawaii DC. He's also president of, and hopefully I'm speaking correctly. Correct me if I am not. He's also president of Wat Padamaratana, and probably many more. So he is a doctor, and he has been practicing as a Buddhist monk since he was 14 years old. And it is a great honor to have him in our class today. And I'm paying respect to you.
Satu.
Satu.
Satu. Glad to see all of you. Okay. So I'm just an observer today. Just one listen from Kim. You guys to discuss or teaching or whatever.
Okay.
I just want to hear and want to observe. But if I can join some aspect, or if you have any question about meditation or any other Buddhist teaching, so I'm pleased to join and tell you about it.
So we were speaking of the Eightfold Path, which
Okay.
they are familiar because I've been teaching it for a year. But as you know, it's a little difficult with Westerners because they've been taught not to know what they're thinking. Their entire life, they have been taught to be unaware of what's going on in up here. And so we are going through, we were actually on the right speech, and what I was telling them exactly what it is. Like, you have to know what's going on in here. So you have to kind of talk to yourself about what you're thinking. The minute you start feeling off, out of balance, you have to know, what am I thinking? Am I having the right view? Am I telling myself the truth? Or am I thinking about the past or the future that's creating suffering inside of me? You have to speak inside yourself. You have to know what it is. And before you speak outside of yourself, you need to check it. What is it? What am I about to speak? You have to do this in order to quiet your mind, or your mind is going to chatter and create suffering. Right? So this is exactly step by step, right? The Buddhist monks have taught us step by step. This is what you do, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, all the way to 8. There's 8 steps in this. If you do them all, along with meditation and chanting, something beautiful happens. But you don't do it for an outcome. When you start thinking, I'm doing it because I want to get enlightened, it's going to elude you. You are not going to get enlightened by grasping and attaching to, I want to get enlightened. It doesn't work like that. You have to do it step by step by step. And you can't do it, oh, maybe today I'm going to have the right view and tomorrow I might have the right thoughts. No, you have to do it as a whole unit together. But the beautiful thing about this path is that once you start with the right view and telling yourself the truth, then your thoughts start to become what they should be, right? It's automatic. It happens automatically. I'm promising you. It happens like this. But you have to actually do it continually on a regular basis all the time. If you're not doing that, you're doing something else. And you've been doing that something else your entire life. So it's created a lot of suffering in you, right? So you can start doing this. If you have the right view, you're telling the truth inside yourself, the truth. You know there's suffering, right? That's a truth. We know there's suffering. Everybody goes through suffering, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to last. It's not going to last. It's all impermanent. We know that too, because we go in and out of it all the time, right? So you know it's not going to last. That's a truth. That's the 4 noble truths, right? There's a way, there's suffering. Suffering ends. There's a way to stop it. There's a path right there that leads to it, right? If we do it. And then things start slowly but surely. And it's not to say that once you get to a point where you feel, oh, Becca, you're in balance, right? And you feel like, okay, I got this. You're going to get tested.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to come at you. That's okay. Let it come. Because it's teaching you. Right? Uh-oh.
Where did it go?
I don't know.
Oh, it's connecting. We lost service.
Not surprised.
Right at testing.
So we have Dr. Handy on
Recording in
Zoom.
progress.
There we go. We're back. We're back. We lost internet for a minute, but you know that happens.
We are muted.
Oh,
There we go.
okay. Sorry. We're back. We lost internet for a minute, but sometimes that happens depending. Oh, now he's gone. It's okay.
I'll let him back in.
So anyway, we're going, see, this is a big teaching. And so there's things that are trying to, it's okay. We already know. So I had a conversation today with another doctor in Washington, D.C. And I wasn't actually there to give a Dhamma talk, but it turned into one. And that's what happens when you're in the right thoughts. in the right actions, doing the right speech, allowing yourself to be in peace. But it takes effort, right? It takes effort. And if you do not give it that effort, it's not going to happen, right? It just won't, because you have to do it for yourself. You have to do it for yourself. And Dr. Handy is here because Americans in this Western world that we live in have a hard time understanding that we have the ability to allow ourselves to be in peace. We think that suffering is normal, right? Didn't everybody here think suffering was normal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's not. But we've never been told that. So we think, oh, it's just normal. We're going to go through life. We're going to be in suffering. And that's just the way it is. It'll come and go. And I'll just deal with it. But most of us are angrily dealing with it. We're angry because we have to be in this suffering. And we don't even know we're suffering. That's the crazy thing, right? Right. People don't even know they're suffering. This is just the way it is.
It's just life.
Yes, but it's not just life. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Dr. Handy? The West.
Yeah, I tried to switch from my iPhone to my computer, but I need the code
plug.
and,
Oh,
this our battery now. I want to change to my computer.
Oh, okay.
Computer.
Do you need me to send it
Yeah,
to?
send me the number, the
Okay.
account, and then the code. Okay, I will leave the iPhone.
Do you want me to send it to your? I don't know that I have. Do I have your email address? I don't think I do.
You
Just
send
send-
in the message.
Okay.
Just try the number, not link, because if I click link, it goes to automatically.
Oh, I got you.
I have to put the number in my
Anna, help me.
screen.
So
Even you just cap the screen and the number, the passcode to me.
Okay. Anna's gonna do it because I told you I'm not tech savvy. I don't know technical stuff. So she's
No
gonna.
problem.
this is what you need to send
Okay,
him.
so-
Is the meeting
We're
ID?
still learning together.
That's right. We are learning
Sorry, I didn't
together.
realize you were using that.
Okay, so here we go. Can you read it to me?
So meeting ID
All right. Just
776 3158 6120, and then the passcode is 5 lowercase th.
it's 5th
with 0 hi.
0 hi, all lowercase.
776. Yeah, 776 3158 61. Yep, that is correct.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
Okay. I just sent it to your phone.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And we're still streaming on YouTube. Cool.
Yes. Okay.
So
People
we're
that
good.
watch this are going to be like, "What's going on?"
As we're leaning over here.
Okay, so I'm going to wait for Dr. Haney to get back on so that we can. Yeah, that one goes back quick.
It was
too.
a surprise. I got a surprise. I moved my tuition and I was like, ooh.
Here we go.
All right, so we're just waiting a couple minutes. I'm letting everybody know on YouTube what's going on Zoom. So we have Zoom hooked up tonight because Venerable tonight is joining us. And okay,
Let me in, please.
okay. Are you there? Did you get it?
Yeah.
There you are. Okay.
got it. All right. Better now.
Okay. So what we were saying is that everyone in here in this group agrees that they didn't know they were suffering. And they didn't know how not to suffer. And they didn't know that their mind was chattering without them knowing it. So all these things, you know, in Thailand, they're taught this from the time they're very little. But here, we're never taught about how we can do this for ourselves. We're not taught to do it for ourselves. And so this is all something new. And so when they try to meditate, they have all this chatter going on in their mind. We've got an echo going on. Have all this chattering going on in their minds, and they don't even know the chattering going on in their minds. So we have to start at the beginning and teach them that, oh, okay, this causes suffering, right? Thinking of the past, thinking of the future, thinking of anything that's not in this present moment can create suffering in you. But it won't last, and you can allow it to go. And there's steps to take. And we started on this eightfold path about a year ago. We started on it, but it takes a while and a lot of patience with themselves to be able to get through to the point where you realize, aha, I'm not really doing these 8 steps because I let my thoughts and my view and my speech go into not the right one, right? I let that happen inside myself, and then that creates suffering inside of me. And we don't like to take responsibility for that suffering. We like to blame it on something outside of us, but it's not outside of you. You're the one creating that inside of you. Whatever it is that you're blaming it on has nothing to do with you. It's outside of you. You can blame it on that if you want to, but then you'll never be free of it. You have to look at it as all of this bottle of water is not me, this phone is not me, right? Anything outside of you, don't worry about it. It's not about you, right? You're doing you inside of you. That's what you're doing. Not for me, not for the venerable, not for anything but yourself. See, he's already done it. I've already done it. We're doing it for ourselves. We continue every day to do it. We're working on ourselves every day, every day, every day. That's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go through life and you're not doing that, what's happening? You're attaching to things that are outside of you. And that's creating suffering inside of you. And even when you think, no, I'm not attached to that, then you are attached to it. Because you're not telling yourself the truth. The truth is so important. That's number one. You got to tell yourself the truth inside of yourself. Know what it is. Know what you're thinking. Don't let your mind go, and then all of a sudden, why am I so sad? Why am I angry? Why am I frustrated? Because you weren't paying attention. You have to pay attention. Pay attention. And then when you samadhi, you're quieting things down. Things will still come in your mind, but you'll know it came in your mind, and you can say, oh, that's just passing by. It's got nothing to do with me, right? And you can let it go and then go back to your breath. That's a beautiful life because you don't have to suffer in that. You can just see it and let it go. It's just that. That's all it is. Right? Do you all understand? But it takes practice at that. Daily, minute by minute, minute by minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, all of a sudden you're thinking about something and you're not feeling so well.
And I think that's the big clue that I didn't get for a while. Get up, you do your meditation in the morning, you do your chanting, right? That's just the beginning.
Yes.
It's that moment by moment by moment by moment by moment. You're fixing your dinner, you're doing your lunch. You're constantly, it's moment. It's a constant. It's
Yes.
just not the act of meditation. It's the going through the 8.
But I'm going to tell you something. Meditation is a little bit more than just sitting in samadhi. See, if you're doing that, you're also doing meditation. You're just doing it with your eyes open. See, that is a form of meditation, being mindful about what's going on. That's a form of meditation. You're checking in, you're making sure everything is all right, you know? This is how it works. It's all combined together. It works like that. It's beautiful. You know, that's why it's like that. This leads to this, leads to this, leads to this, right? It's a number 8. What is 8? Goes on forever, right? It's infinity, right? The wheel, circle, goes around forever, right? Because this is what we do. It's all together. If you just do one, it's not going to work out. You might feel a little better here and there, but you have to do it all. But the beauty of the way this is that when you do one, you're also doing another, right? When you do the right view, the right thought, the right speech, you're also doing your morals, sila, right? You're also doing that all at the same time. It's really not that hard. We think it's that hard because we're thinking, right? We're thinking, instead of doing. If we do it, if we just say, oh, is this the right view I'm having right now? Am I telling myself the truth? What's going on? Stop for a minute in this crazy world that we're in. It's so busy. I hear this a lot. I'm busy. I can't, I'm busy.
Oh, I said it.
Yes.
I said it several times. Well, more than several.
So take a minute for yourself. This is important because no one else can do it. We can tell you these things, and I'm telling you, the monks will take every minute that they need to take with you. But it doesn't matter if you don't do it yourself. You have to do it yourself, inside yourself. This is a beautiful thing that happens, but no one can do it for you. They have given us the roadmap, right? I mean, step by step by step. They've done it. It was beautiful. First time I heard it, I was like, what? No suffering. I'm on board. Yay, right? And I jumped on that train. I got on board and I practiced every day, every minute of my life. It became what I do. That's what I do inside for myself every day, every day, every day. So if you do it every day, you will see what happens. The suffering you'll start going into, you'll be in balance, right? You'll be in balance, not too happy, not too sad. You'll be here. And a lot of people think, oh, not too happy. I don't want to do that. But what happens when you get really happy? Yes, it's impermanent. Then you go up, you got to come down. And when you come down, then you're sad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have balance, which is what this does, you're even. You're not attached to anything, including your ego, right? that ego will rear its ugly head a lot. But if you're doing your practice, you see it before it hits you. You already know because you're thinking, okay, what's my thoughts right now? What am I thinking? And you have to be honest because a lot of times we lie to ourselves about what our thoughts are, thinking that, oh, if I tell myself this story, then it's not true, right? The truth isn't true if I tell myself a story. But it is true because your heart knows already. Your heart knows already. So all you have to do is speak truth. What am I really thinking? Oh, am I thinking resentment or anger? Or am I thinking about yesterday or tomorrow? Tell yourself the truth so you can clean your house in here. And when you clean it, then you can move on. Okay, now I have the right view. I've told myself the truth. I have the right view. I know what I need to do. The right thoughts are coming, right? Automatically, they start coming. Soon as you have that right view. And I tell you, meditation, and you do it when you're in the right view and in the right thought. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Then you're really doing meditation. You're not in chatter. You're not going, okay, I got to do this. Let me take, and I know y'all don't do over probably 15, 20 minutes. Michelle, I know you're doing 30 now because you're doing it with the monks. And I know you do 30 sometimes. And I don't know about you, Roger. No? Kathy?
15 to 20 minutes.
Anna?
Not 30 minutes.
Not 30 minutes. So here we are. They don't do 30 minutes. They've been meditating for a year. Okay, Dr. Handy, I'm telling you, this is the Western world. This is important because they want to share with the Western world. They want to know how to teach them, but they can meditate for hours. I mean, hours without moving for hours. So we can't just sit you here and meditate for an hour and expect you not to move because your mind is already going crazy just thinking you're going to have to meditate for an hour, right? It's already gone. We've already lost you in that.
Half of it is in an hour yet?
Yes, half of it is asking, are we done yet? Right? So we have to learn to quiet the mind and to have the right view and the right thought and all of this before you go into a meditation. Otherwise, you're going da, 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 going crazy. Start out slow. You can't do 30 minutes, do 15. You can't do 15, do 10. You can't do 10, at least do 5. Anybody can do 5. The first time you do it 5 minutes, you'll be going, oh, I can't clear my mind. What's happening? You'll talk to yourself the whole time. So the 5 minutes will go by. But then the next time, do 10. Do a little bit more. You can't do 10, do 8. 8's a good number, right? And then you just add a little bit to your practice. It's a practice. Why do they call it a practice? Because you haven't gotten good at it yet. You're practicing. Everybody's got to practice at it. So you practice, and then you practice more. Every day, every night, practice. Sometimes I do it many times, well, most days, I do it many times a day. Right? You don't have to just do it twice a day. You can do it whenever. You'll get to a point where you're like, oh, good, I get to meditate. Nobody's here. Good, I have time. I can meditate. Because you know what it brings you. You know that there's peace in that. You know that it's part of your Eightfold Path. and it will all start to come together for you. But if you don't do it, how can you expect a result? Right? There's no result if you don't do it. There's only results if you do it. If you attach to an expectation, what happens? Yes, suffering. They got that one down. They know what suffering is, but they didn't when they started. That's progress, right? We have to be patient with ourselves. We're adults. We've been practicing the opposite of what you're being taught now for many years. Complete opposite, really. And so now your mind at first, and I'm saying this because I want Dr. Handy to know this, your mind at first says, no, that's not true. It does. It tells you this can't be true. That's not true. And so they fight that along with themselves. And so you have to slowly teach them how it is true inside themselves.
If you think about, at first you don't even know,
Do I press upgrade?
you don't know
That costs money then.
the voices that it's you, because we're told those voices really aren't us too at the beginning.
Yes.
And then we don't really know who we are,
Yes.
and we don't
No.
know what love is.
That's right.
Do you want the meeting to end in 10 minutes, which would put us at 7:55, or do you want me to upgrade?
Upgrade. Okay. Is it going to take us off?
I'm not sure.
Can you still hear us? Zoom is doing something. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, we're here.
okay. So we're gonna keep going. Zoom is telling us we have to upgrade or something. So we're gonna keep going until we can't go anymore.
And then I'll do the subscription afterwards.
Yeah. So this is America. This is real. This is what happens here. We don't know we're suffering. Even when we're told about how you can get out of suffering, we don't think it's true.
Then I make a lot of excuses.
They
Lots of
make a lot of
excuses.
excuses. They tell themselves a lot of stories about, oh no, I
Don't
can't.
have time. I can't get this. Oh, I'm not good
It's
enough.
too hard. There's a
Too
lot of
hard.
excuses they make. And it's all because they don't know themselves and they don't love their self.
Mhm.
They haven't learned to do that. The Western world is taught that if you love yourself, it's ego, which is complete opposite of the truth. So here we are, we've been taught all these things, and pretty much so that other people can control us, really. That's the bottom line.
Mhm.
And so now we're learning, oh, we don't have to do that. We can do this. So it takes a lot of patience and a long time with people from here because they don't believe it at first. They don't believe that this is real, that it can really happen. Fortunately, my students have watched it happen. So they believe it.
Mhm.
They just fight it inside themselves. So, and that's a big deal, the fight inside of you. That is the ego. And it because we've been taught to have an ego our entire life, it's very strong inside of everyone. And so we have to continually teach ourselves non-self, atana. We have to continually do that. And because we don't know what that means at first, we have no clue, non-self. What does that mean? And so there's always not always, but there's a lot of fight going on inside of themselves, inside of their mind, because this mind has controlled their heart their entire life.
Mhm.
And so we have to teach them to listen to this heart. Listen to it. It knows. It knows. It really knows. And when you start doing that and being kind to yourself, because most Americans are not kind to themselves. It sounds nuts when you say it out loud, but it's true. Most Americans are not kind to themselves. And so they go into this fight and they talk to themselves in negative ways. They really battle this. And so once we have to start with these things, the path, so they have a roadmap so that they can quiet their mind a little bit so they can meditate. Because if I had taken them right away and just set them down and had them sit for an hour, they may have gone crazy. Truthfully, it might have made them lose their mind because they've never sat with their self that long in quiet. Sounds funny, but it's true. And so they have to little by little practice, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, gradually bring yourself. And what we do sometimes is we'll do, a little bit, then we'll talk. Then we'll do a little bit, then we'll talk. Because then you have a break and you can clear the chatter, which is going on for the first meditation that they do. That's the way it works. Their mind,
Well, and I think that, because I've been with you for a long time, that the retreats that we've done in the past, it's almost like building us up to the point where we can get to this.
Yeah.
Because each retreat, it's like you have to build on what you did last time. And even if you aren't doing your practices, there's still a moment of building. And I mean, I've been with you at 3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's taken me this long to get through my garbage.
Yes. Because there's a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
They haven't taken out the garbage in their mind ever. So there's a lot of that inside. Yeah. And nobody has taught the Western world how to do this. They have never been taught how this works inside of themselves. They've never been told they can do it for themselves. It's always, a lot of people charge. So here, I'm going to give you money and you can fix me. And they'll say they can fix you. It's a big problem in the US that, the online, people who charge money because they tell people I can fix you instead of you can fix you. And then they charge them money and people pay a lot of money to do that instead of learning that they can do it themselves. So this is how the Western world, and you're getting it firsthand because they're hopefully, can you hear them when they speak? I want to make sure that you can hear them because they're telling you firsthand how they felt and how they feel when they first started meditation and all this stuff, the challenges that they've had in order to get to a point where they can meditate. It's really difficult for them to be able to sit in quiet because of everything that has taken place up till now. Now they're doing better. They can sit, because they have this understanding and they know that they have to do it themselves and they have to work on themselves and do it inside, and that only they can do it. They get a little energy from, like when they come see the monks, there's definitely, they can feel that. And, I tell them always don't get attached because it will create suffering, but you can feel that, but that's not you, that's them. And so you have to know the difference that is someone else, that's outside of you, and you have to do you. You have to do you. This is important. No one can do it for you. You might feel better for, a day, but then you go right back in because you're not doing your practice. So they shared something with you and then you throw it away. Really, that's what it's like. When you get that from the monks, they're sharing with you what they have. And then if you don't go home and practice, then it's like you're throwing it away. But if you do it for yourself, you get the gift that they gave you. You understand?
Mhm.
And this is truth. You get a big gift that they gave you if you take it and you do it for yourself. Otherwise, it's being for what? You're still in suffering for what?
So our attachment is, because we're not doing it daily the way we should, our attachment is needing to come back to meditation class for the following week for the recharge.
Recharge. Well, yeah, that is an attachment if that's what you're doing.
'Cause,
Yes.
I mean, that's what I felt personally with myself, because, what you earlier when you said you've been getting so busy with all you have to do that, you're getting spread out. And I was thinking to myself, well, if she's not going to be here, then what? You know what I'm saying? In
I
my
will
brain,
lost
I'm
that Zoom. That one went.
in my brain.
Can we
I'm-
do another one?
Let me see.
I was afraid of that.
But in my brain, I'm going, when you said you might not be, I'm going, well,
Maybe just start a
in
new
that instant,
meeting.
I was like,
And then we'd
well,
have to re-invite it.
if she's
That's
gonna be
okay.
busy, then what am I gonna do?
Because the
I
idea
thought
is
to
having
myself,
because you're only limited
well,
to
here
an
we
hour.
go. That's where
You're
the
going to do it
practice-
yourself.
You have
Yes.
to.
Instead of depending on the
Okay,
teacher,
so
Yes.
So that might
because
You
I
are-
did that before. I
Yes.
had to get that
Yes.
plug back in, like one of the electric
Yes.
cars
so
they
either
have,
join
Yes.
the meeting or sign
to get
in.
that recharge
It would be
the
something
next
you
week. And I
create.
found myself looking
Because
forward
join the
to it,
meeting, you already have to
which
have
is
an
not a
idea.
bad thing, but that was
Okay,
where
so-
my practice
No.
was, I guess.
I will always do it online. Okay. I don't, when I was in Thailand, I did it online, didn't I?
Mhm.
It's my gift to you guys. But you guys have to take that gift and do it yourself.
I think that's a big lesson right there is really effort. I'm, I don't put in, well, I didn't put in a lot of effort to me. And
Yes.
actually, I also felt guilty for taking time from me.
Yes.
And
It's
you've
a
seen me
train.
struggle with that.
Yes.
The
Do you-
guilt behind it. So it's taking me a while to be like, all right, like I said, I've been with him for 3 years. It's taking me this long and a lot of digging and going through a lot for me to get here.
For me to upgrade, do you want me to
But I don't think that you have to go through all that.
What?
It just depends
put it under
on
my name?
But we put ourselves through it
Yeah,
because
whatever, I don't
I ended up
care.
asking myself a lot of times, like when I was arguing or trying to my whole thing. What do you mean by that? I mean, we grew up together our whole lives, and to be honest, I was not a very nice person, and I guess I was mean to everybody else because I was mean to myself. When she said, be good to yourself, I was like, well, what the heck does that mean? And I didn't realize being good to yourself is the inner, not the outer. And I'd struggle with that whole, well, if I'm not loving somebody else, that was my logic in it. If I love somebody else and I am loving myself, that's where I felt good because I needed somebody else.
Yes.
And you were telling me the other week, don't do for everybody else all the time, because I was making that excuse. I need to do this for
Mhm.
my brother. But I was looking for doing something for somebody else. I'm not thinking about myself, but I need to be mindful
Would
of
read it,
myself.
hon?
So
Yes.
So it'll be renewed on October 30th. So it'll be each month to my account, to my card, but it's under your account. So just as a
Okay.
so whenever you decide to stop using it, let me know and then I'll
Okay.
cancel it.
Okay. So we're gonna cost. I'm just saying this, Roger. I know you don't have an income, but take care of your part. But we're gonna on this Zoom. It costs $100. So it's like
It's $14.99 a month.
a month. So if everybody could just chip in a little bit so that Anna does not have to, she did it on her card, so Anna doesn't have to pay for it all herself.
Do you have Cash App?
I'm not sure if I do.
So how do when people ask
I
me that, I'm
have
like, well,
Venmo
don't you
and
have a
Apple Pay.
donation jar?
None of us up in the cash.
Either one's fine.
Okay, are we back on?
Okay, so set up Zoom phone. No thanks, please don't save that. What? For the changes, set up Zoom phone. I don't want that.
Confirming
So-
the changes, I guess, then just
So then I want to go to my meeting that we have.
schedule a meeting maybe?
So-
Let's join the
Let
meeting.
me see if it's
Well, to join a meeting, you
You
have to have an
have to-
ID, so you want to schedule a meeting.
We do have an
Yeah.
ID. We have the one we
Oh
sent
yeah,
Dr.
you can
Handy.
probably open
Yeah,
that back up now that you've
yeah,
upgraded.
Yeah.
okay. So
Let's try that first.
Oh, you computer people.
Okay.
okay. Um,
Recording in progress.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's back up.
So just invite them back in.
Just say we're up and running again.
Okay. And can somebody let Donna know we're back on?
Yep.
Okay. So, you missed, but I think it's important that you hear is them speaking about how they felt when it first started. So Roger had said that, can you repeat what you said?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I
just
can't
tell
do
from
that.
your heart. Just speak from your heart. When I said to you, you need to love yourself. And I told you that always doing for others and not taking care of yourself is not loving yourself.
Oh, yeah. Because I was arguing with myself about if I'm doing stuff for somebody else, then I'm not thinking about myself. And I was thinking I was being selfish if I didn't do for others, but I'm being selfish toward myself because I'm not taking the time to do for myself as well as others.
Right.
So I end up spending a lot of time arguing with myself when I sat down to clear my mind because I'm asking myself too many questions. You know, why is it bad for me to think of others? You know, I was always taught you think of others before yourself, and my whole life. And I was thinking, well, if I'm thinking about myself and not others, and I'm being selfish. And you know, our whole lives we were taught that, you know, you're being selfish, and that it confused me when she said, well, you don't, you're not loving yourself. And I was like, no, I like myself. I'm good. I like me.
See, they think that you can't be good to yourself. You can't take care of yourself. But in reality, you have to take care of yourself first so that you can help others. If you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of other people. It's impossible.
Well, I'm learning that you know, I always said, you know, it was always important for me to seek love. You know, I mean, being married, trying to make love was like what I needed.
An
you know?
attachment to
And-
other things.
And yeah, because that was the attachment. I needed somebody else's love, and loving, you know, I'm learning that I can't truly love others until I learned to love myself.
Yes,
And
that's
Tim's
true.
always like, "Well, Brad, you don't love yourself. You don't know what you're." I said, "Yes, I do. Because being in the Marine Corps, you think you're in control of everything, and you're not even in control of yourself
Right.
because
That's
you're
right.
arguing with your own thoughts." And
Yes.
I'm like, I know what I'm thinking, and I want to think good for myself, but I'm actually doing what, like you said, what I've been taught my whole life. So we're spending our whole lives, now trying to repair or fix.
But it's really
lifetime
not.
of- Well, a lifetime of patterns that we're used to
Yes.
tell ourselves.
Yes and no. And I'm going to tell you why yes and no. Because you're not going back to fix anything. You are just doing it from this moment.
Right.
What
right.
happened in the past, you can't fix. It's already done. You're just doing now. You're
Well,
just doing
habits,
it.
I guess.
Yes, you're just going to
Breaking
do it
bad
from
habits.
this point on. Michelle, what was your comment?
Oh. Well, I have one now. After
Okay.
you said that, it's not necessarily going back to your past, but allowing yourself to forgive yourself for your past, because your past is exactly that. It's your past. And for me, it was very difficult to face my past, because there was shame, there was guilt, there was really not understanding that it is just a past.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
not
even
who I
you.
am.
It's not even you anymore.
Mm-mm.
It was something that happened to somebody before you,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it sounds crazy to think like that, but it's true. It's not even you. You're not that same person
Not
that
even
you
close.
were back then.
Yeah.
But we think that we are. We've been taught to think like that. Oh, if I was bad then, I'll always be bad. But that's not a
Mhm.
truth. So the way of thinking, we have to redo our thought process. So that's why it takes so long for the Western world to be able to meditate, because we have to do that. We have to rethink. We have to redo our thought process. Yes, Vanessa?
I think that also
Speak up
in
so
our
he can.
culture we're all also told all the time that other people are more important, being polite, like it's always to like put yourself last, but also to be polite all the time and do the right things.
Well, that's part of this. That's part of this. Doing the right thought, the right action, but you're talking about physically doing the right thing for someone else.
Yeah.
Also, for me, the big thing is so we have this chatter, and we have been given so much value on our intellect
Mhm.
versus the heart. So the brain, those thoughts have always been more superior than the heart.
Yes.
And so for me to shut the brain down is
Right. It's hard. They have a very hard time, with their heart instead of this on top of their head. It chatters, it confuses, it makes them feel guilty and shameful and resentful and angry and
And envious.
envious
Yeah,
and this is everyone has these emotions. It's what you do with them. Are you going to bring them in, or are you going to shut the door and don't let them in?
And I think that's a big thing, is understanding that you don't have to accept them. And it's taken me a long time to understand I don't have to accept those emotions. It's okay.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with me.
Right. Your thoughts can just pass right through. You don't have to bring them in, sit down and have dinner with them. You can just let them pass right through.
See, that's why when you said to not think with your mind, but think with your heart, the opposite was, for me, that's what my struggle is because when you said that, I'm like, no way. Because my heart has been my downfall, in my thought process
Yes.
before.
Yes.
If I didn't feel in my heart and I didn't get caught up in those attachments, then I wouldn't feel them. So I turned my heart off. But I didn't, when you said think with your heart, I was like, how the heck do you think with your heart and not your mind? And it confused me. So I have to, it's easier for me to turn my heart off than it was my mind.
Yes.
Is my point.
Yes.
I can turn my mind off. I can turn my heart off, because if I turn my heart off, then I don't feel.
Mhm.
And if I feel that, to me, that was an attachment. So
But
I
it is the attachment that makes you feel.
right, I didn't get
Yes.
that. You know, I thought being my heart, I felt it in here,
Yes.
then it had to be attached up here.
So you see, Dr. Handy, it's a big job to teach the Western world because they are so confused. Yes?
Sorry, I can't hear properly when we ask question or when we discussion.
Oh, okay. What he said was he had a hard time turning off he could easily turn off his heart, but he has a hard time turning off his mind because his heart was his downfall, he said. He always got attached to, women or what, and it broke his heart. It was hurt him. And his mind, he, was the ruler. And when I told him, you have to think with your heart, not your mind, this mind. See, in Thailand, they say mind and they point to the heart because that's what they know. But here we're taught this is the mind and this is what rules you. And so it was hard for him to get that. You got to listen to your heart because your heart is what speaks the truth. This right here chatters and tells you all kinds of lies. And so it was hard for them to understand that because we're taught, oh no, your intelligence will get you everywhere. And this is nothing. Don't listen to your heart.
Okay, let me try this
Please.
aspect. Between heart and mind. In Buddhism, heart is the material, the organs. It's like a receiver, but the mind, the consciousness, that is the citta or the stream of consciousness. When we think, when we receive, when we be mindful from the mind, not from the heart. You in yourself is like a true person, good and bad, the sati or mindfulness will judge it. But normally the people, they follow mental defilements. That's the mind works because of you want it, you need it, you want to have this thing. But when you're not satisfied, and then your frustration, you're angry, you're not happy, right? So the mind is to follow your needed because of you don't have So if they don't practice, I mean the practice vipassana meditation is meditation or the emotion, they follow their feeling. That kind of feeling is a mix with greed, hatred, and delusion. That means all kind of thing that we call akusala karma, the root of evil that take over the normal mind all the time if you don't have sati. So that's why back to practice meditation to eliminate or to reduce the greed, hatred, and delusion, and how to set your mind in the neutral, not to going up to the plus, and not go to down, minus. So if you set your mind means that you're feeling to the neutral, that means you don't care whatever happens, but you just know it. Know it and let it go. Why people suffer? Why suffering with you? Because you attach. You don't know this kind of suffering, but you think that, oh, this is the good thing in your life, like your girlfriend, your money, your position, your possession, everything that you're grasping to you. You think that, oh, this is mine. But actually, it's not you. It belongs to the nature. If you understand the three characteristics of existence, anicca, impermanence, dukkha is suffering, and anatta is a non-self. That Kim tried to explain to you as non-self or no self. Nothing to grasping, because it belongs to the nature. Even your life composed with two things, nama and rupa. Nama means the mind. Rupa means the form. The form consists of the great four elements, right? Earth, fire, wind, and water. And also composed with the space and consciousness. So actually 6 great elements compose life. And then when the harm and condition comes, means that when you're getting old, and then some disease happens, that means that the process between the changing, the life is changing, not too stable. And then finally you die, you suffer, and the 4 great elements get back to the nature. The earth element become the earth. Water, fire, wind go back to the original place. So then what is going on to another life? According to Buddhism, we believe in rebirth. Okay? When people die, have to rebirth in another realm, in another
Realm.
realm, yeah. So that the mind goes to another realm with the new condition, and also with the old what you have done, that we call karma. The result of karma is like the seed of the fruit. In Thailand, very famous the sweet tamarind in Thailand. You know,
Yeah.
if you bring the sweet tamarind grow in America, the seeds bring sweetness, and when it's produced the fruit, and then you can taste it. The same thing when people reborn again, they bring some part of the previous karma with them, and when reborn in the new family, when they get education, get training, get that in different like a Westerner and Easterner people. Eastern people, okay, they live lifestyle like an Eastern, and Western they live lifestyle as a Western, because of they have the new condition. But why the manner of people is so different? Even born in the same womb, same mother, because of that's the previous karma that carry on in the seed. So this is the Buddhism believe in reborn and reincarnation, whatever. In Vajrayana, like a Lama tradition, they explain about the reincarnation. That another one theory that you have to learn about that. But we are Theravada, we believe in reborn. So when people die, have to reborn again, reborn in the human form or animal form or other lower room form, whatever. But depends on your karma, depends on your action in the present life. The karma that produce good and bad, that we call akusala, and kusala is a good, the wholesome, and akusala is unwholesome. We produce by verbal action, bodily action, and mental action. Buddha said, mind is a foreigner upon action. Mind is a chief. Mind is a master. Mind is doer. If your mind polluted with greed, hatred, and delusion, means that when you do things by body, by word, and by mind, it's the unwholesome thought, unwholesome mind, and unwholesome action. And then following will follow you if you do that. In the opposite, if the mind is a pure mind, calm mind, clear mind, without greed, hatred, and delusion, of course, when you act with your mind. Mental process is a very good mind, with metta, with loving kindness and compassion. And when you speak not harm the people, not harm yourself. Speak only sweet thing, speak only the truth thing, speak only the useful thing in your life. And also action is according to the mind. You will act nicely, perfectly. See? So the thing that you produce, wholesome and unwholesome, is by mental action, verbal action, bodily action. But the Buddha said from the mind. So that's why in Buddhism we're talking about nama, mind, and rupa is a form. So use the form, the body, to train the mind. Use the mind to control the form. See? Train from inside out to control and outside in. So you look within your body. You don't look within other people. You don't point your finger to other people. You are bad. No, you have to bring the finger to you. You train the mind from yourself, and then you can change the world. See, like a Buddha himself. He changed himself from the normal people. He's a prince of Kapilavastu, prince of Sakya clan. And then he trained himself for 6 years. He tried.
Our internet is going a little crazy.
This happens when you get to the good part.
Yes, it does. Oh. All right, so I'm gonna let him finish and then we'll.
Recording in progress.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost you for a minute.
Yes.
You're back now, but we
I unmuted us.
Oh.
Okay. Now, can I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. So when we understand our life, that's composed with material form and not immaterial form, means that the mind, then we can live our life happily. The main thing that why we carry dukkha with us all the time. In Westerner, they don't want to talk about suffering, right? But you cannot escape. You have to face the reality. The dukkha is a real. The Buddha taught in the Four Noble Truths. Suffering, origin of suffering, and then the cessation of suffering, and number 4 is the path to least cessation of suffering. Why he taught the result first before cause? Dukkha samudaya, number 1, is a result of number 2. Because the Buddha said you have to face the dukkha first, and then you have to find out the way out. Where is the cause of suffering? You have to track back to the cause, okay? Because now you are so suffered. you have the problem in your life, and then back to see what is the cause of my life. Why is it to suffer right now? Because of money, because of girlfriend, because of boyfriend, family, work, money, position, whatever. This is a lie of you, and have cause and effect. Everything has cause and effect. Not is a happens alone. So these are the four noble truths, number one and number two. So the Buddha showed that the cause of suffering is tanha, is a craving, desire, aversion. But the main thing is a tanha. Tanha is a craving, wanted, unlimited wanted. Sometimes it's not necessary in your life, but you need it, right? When you go to the window shopping, yeah? Go to the window shopping, you have enough clothes to wear, you have enough food to eat, you have shelter to live, you have medicine to, cure your disease if you necessary. But you need more other things. Even when you eat, some people, they eat because of they want to show proud, they want to show their position, the supreme, whatever they call. But that kind of thing is from tanha. It's not necessary. And any limit with that. Then so for instance, only one thing that you eat, you are what you eat, right? In American, they say like that, you are what you eat. So when you pick something to your mouth, you have to have mindfulness, sati, sati coming up. If you don't have sati, and then you eat because of desire, you eat because of tanha, it's not because of your body need it. So you eat it, and then it's over and over. And so bring disease to you. Like you eat sugar too much, is a diabetes in the future, right? Diabetes come, is it cause what? The high blood pressure? Is it cause high cholesterol? Is it cause the kidney problem? Is it cause liver problem? Any kind, because of what? You eat. See? So if everything has a cause and effect. When you see the effect, you have to back to see the cause. And then the Buddha show the path to lead to the end of suffering, the Noble Eightfold Path. As Kim just mentioned earlier, the Noble Eightfold Path, you have to practice combined together, not one by one, okay? Because in the Noble Eightfold Path, there are 8 spokes. It's like in the wheel. That's why in Buddhism we use the wheel, Dhammacakka. And in the wheel there are 8 spokes. Right understanding, right thought, right speech, right livelihood, right action, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So if one thing or one or two spoke is broken, the wheel cannot complete, and you cannot reach destination completely. That's why Buddha said, Atankiko Makko means that the path composed with the 8 spoke or 8 stream had to come together, 8 to become one. But okay, we can separate like in conclusion in the 8, and then we can divide into 3, okay? Sila, Samadhi, Panya. These are 3 characteristics, 3-4 training. How to start to study Buddhism, this is the 3 steps. Like a staircase, you have to walk to reach the final. That Sila means morality, moral code. Sila, first, Sila can control the bodily action. Samadhi can control or can develop the mind. And Panya, wisdom, can control or can take care of, or I mean that you can take care of your body, can take care of your life, okay? So Sila, Samadhi, Panya, morality, meditation, and wisdom. What is the Sila? Okay, start from 5 Panchasila, start from the 5 basics rule in Buddhism. Number 1, not to kill, panatipata virami, not to kill, not to harm, not to torture, not to take the lives of creatures. Okay, means that you respect to their life. The tiny insects, they have their right to protect their life as you. You have your life. The animal, the small insects or ants also, they have the right to protect their life. The Buddha respect life. That's why not to harm, not to kill, not to take the life. The number 1, because you have to cultivate metta or loving kindness in your heart. If you practice the Sila number 1, means you grow that loving kindness in your mind. Number 2, not to steal, not to take what is not given to you. This one also respect the owner. They have their own, not only the thing, but sometimes the people in our community, they have rule and regulation, we have to respect, not to steal. And number 3, not to take commit in sexual misconduct when you have couple. You have respect to husband, you have to respect in wife. So the family life have to show respect to each other, trust to each other, bear in mind to speak in the truth thing, right? That's what the couple do. But right now, in Eastern and Western philosophy is quite different between they live together like okay, husband and wife. That caused a problem in our society, in our world about this because of they don't respect each other. The Buddha said, okay, husband and wife just be kalyana mitta, good friend, be a good friend only. See, if you be a good friend, you will not conflict or just look at the good thing in each other, not look at only the appearance. Oh, my wife so beautiful. I'm jealous. I'm not to let people see my face of my wife or my husband just so handsome. I just want him to be with me last long in life. That's impossible. See? So that kind of feeling is make the conflict if you not open mind or look at only the good thing in each other. Because why? Okay, when you are young, of course, everybody like to see the good appearance outside, very beautiful. And what about when you're getting old? What about your hair is changed? What about when your teeth is broken? See, nothing to look at. Only the good thing. Only the good thing that you have in your mind. So when you're getting old, the connection between husband and wife to each other, pay attention to each other, share the mind, share the happiness and suffering together. Some people like to share only happiness, but you have suffering and then run away, right? Most the people they do like that. So that's why the broken family happens. See, the family is not too strong. So the sila number 3, the Buddha led already. But no, before Buddha also they have this is the basic rule in the ancient time in the Indian society. Yeah. And number 4, not to tell lie, not to tell the false speech and harm speech. That also make the people, get a conflict. And also the verbal action is easy to, get into trouble in our society. Start from the family, okay? If you're not truthfulness, talk in truthfulness to each other, okay? Between husband and wife, between mother and son, mother and daughter, son and parents, if they not tell the truth, so what happened in the family? So the sila number 4, to control verbal action. And the last one is number 5 is not to take intoxicant drink and use drug, alcohol. That also can. If you take alcohol, you get drunk, right? You can break the rule number 1, you can kill. You can steal number 2, and you can commit sexual misconduct, can adultery. That's number 3. And number 4, you can lie easily because you're drunk. You get drunk. So number 5 is very important in the normal life, lay life, like you to, contact with the people. Some people say that, oh, I drink alcohol because of social, because I have to do business, to contact with the people sometimes. Yeah, you can do, but not over limit. Okay, you can drink. The Buddha said sometimes the alcohol, the monk also can do because of they mix with medicine. You can do the medicine with alcohol, not overdose, not over, make you drunk. That kind of thing. So when you drink, you have to think first. Stop and think first that, oh, limit or over limit, in the limit or over limit. See? So this is the sila, the basic rule and regulation. And number 2 is a samadhi, right? Because number 1 is a sila in the Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path number 3, 4, 5. Life, speech, right action, livelihood. That's the sila, controlled by sila. And life speech, that's the number 4. See, right speech, that's in the 4 noble truths. And right concentration and right mindfulness, right effort. 3 is concluded into samadhi. When you do samadhi or meditation, you have to concentrate. Okay, concentration. Somebody concentrate in the nostril, the air in and out, that we call anapanasati, or the breathing exercise. Or some people just observe the abdomen rising and falling. That kind of thing is a technique. Okay. Many techniques. In Theravada, there are 40 techniques of samatha meditation. And in meditation, divide into 2. Samatha is a calm meditation, how to calm your mind with the 40 techniques. And another is an insight meditation that we call vipassana. See the thing as it really are. See the thing as it really is. Not see the thing as you want to be and you want to have. Now the normal people, they see the thing as they want to have. You want to be. And then if not satisfied, and then suffering comes. Suffering in your shoulder already. Okay? So this is a samadhi. So you have to do samadhi or meditation with the effort. What kind of effort? Okay, suppose you sit, take a deep breath, relax, and the mind wandering somewhere. The mind sleep there, you sit here, but your mind in your office, your mind in your house, your mind is in the workplace, your mind is on vacation. So you have to bring your mind back home, here. Your mind has to be here in your nostril. If you focus or concentrate in your nostril, this is your home of your mind, the home of your mind here. So to be the effort to bring the mind back and forth, okay? The mind wandering 100 times, you have to bring it back 100 times. Your mind wandering 1,000 times, you have to bring 1,000 times. Hundred of thousand, each moment, your mind is very, go far, go away, go alone, and very fast. That's the normal of mind. Like a gentleman just said that my mind is run around, my mind is not stable. That's the normal mind. Mind is like a monkey. Mind is like a fish. When they take the fish to the dry land, and then fish wants to go to the water. Same thing. The normal mind just run down, not go up. So that's why when we practice meditation, practice sati, we try to live it up. Like we build the dam to the stream, like that, to leave the water up. The mind go down. In Thai word we call Nam Chai. Nam is water, Chai is a mind. So the nature of water is to go down, not go up. So that's why the normal mind is go down. Go by your desire, goes with your craving, desire, anxiety, and many mental defilements that invade your mind. Depends on the condition. When your eyes see the form, when you hear the sound, when your nose smell, when your tongue touch the food or the taste, when your body touch hard, soft, hot or cold, and also even you close 5 organs just in the mind. It's come up in the mind. Even you close your eyes, you put the cotton in your ear, you hear nothing, but you cannot close the mind. See? Mind is very important. So that's why back to train the mind by use the technique as the Buddha taught us 2,600 years ago. And also he discovered under the Bodhi tree, that's why he became the Buddha. See? So the two things in the Eightfold Path is a right understanding and right thought. Two things is a panya. Okay? This is the panya put in the number 1, but okay, it's not number 1 actually. It's a come around, it's like a wheel, Wherever you start, the 8 spoke. But to get you right understanding or easy to remember, that put that right understanding, right thought, right speed, right action, right language, until finish right concentration, the last one. So from 8 to become 3, from 3 become 2, only nama and rupa. You use your body to train the mind, use the mind to take care of the body. And the last one is so important. In the teaching of the Buddha, 84,000 is sati, mindfulness. Sati te sang nivaranam. Sati has protect to outside in and inside out. So it is a study Buddhism within 10 minutes for you today.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So normally, I don't know what time it is.
It is 8:43.
Normally we end between 8 and 8:30, and we normally do a little a small, like 5 or 10 minute meditation. So would you be willing to lead them in a short meditation? Do you have time? Would you?
You mean right now?
Yes.
Okay. So for the next time, I like to recommend you like this. You should combine little by little. Okay. Like before we start the class, we have to short chanting. Like Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammam Namasami Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. And then meditate because of this thing that, okay, we should respect to the Triple Gem first, every time when you start the class. At least, you know, the newcomers, they learn how to chant and know the Pali. So you can print out or you can show them the material, a lot of material, very sharp. And then back to meditation, to train the mind to control, not control. I don't want to use the control because we cannot control. Okay, the mind is the nature of the stream of consciousness. But to let the mind stop when we know the mind. When you let the mind go somewhere, your mind wandering. As soon as you know where the mind is, and then the mind will be with you. The mind comes back automatically because it's so fast. So we not control the mind, but we know the mind. If you know the mind will be with you. Okay, this is the key word for today. Sit and observe your breathing in and out. Okay, close your eyes, sit, relax your shoulder, relax your body. You sit on the chair, on sofa, also on the cushion, on the floor, whatever, but need to straight back and relax. Okay. And then close your eyes softly, gently. Don't force your eyelid to each other. Just close or half closed. Let it free and gentle with your eyes tight and closed and your eyelid together. And then bring your mind, focus your mind on your nostril. Take a deep breath, deep in breath, and then you can feel the air passing in your nostril. And then observe that air coming into your lung and make your body feel comfortable. And then automatically when you're breathing in, little bit, hold a little bit, and then you're breathing out. The air passing out through your nostril. And if you pay close attention to your nostril, you can feel the cool air coming in and warm air coming out. Just relax your body, relax your mind. Just sit and observe your breathing in. You know that you are breathing in. When you're breathing out, you know that you are breathing out. you do like the doorman who's sitting in the door and observe the guest coming in and the guest going out. That's all. That's established mindfulness or sati in front of you. You observe yourself, observe your nostril, observe the air passing in and out. So just sit there, relax. That's all. If your mind wandering somewhere, just bring it back, as I mentioned earlier. Bring to your nostril, observe the air passing in and out. Okay, we will try to get there around 3 minutes. Okay, time is over. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I know you're busy, but thank you for coming.
Okay, I'm happy to join the class with all of you. So next time, so every Thursday, right, you have the class?
Yes.
7 to 8 or 7 to 9?
Usually it's 7 to 8, but we end when we end.
Okay, okay. All right. I will keep it for the next time.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Good night. Good
Sadhu,
Good night.
sadhu, sadhu.
Good night.
Good night. Well, what y'all think?
I enjoyed it.
It was great.
Productive.
It was, wasn't it?